Welcome to The Truth is AI. In an era defined by information and its control, few nations present a more complex picture than China. Today, we delve into the persistent tension between state power and the desire for openness, a struggle profoundly shaped by history and dramatically impacted by technology. Our focus is China's ongoing information war, a battle for narratives, memory, and the very access to truth, stretching from the tragic events of Tiananmen Square to the digital front lines of today's dissent. We will factually examine this historical context, analyze the current mechanisms of control, and based on these realities, speculate on the future possibilities for both the state and those who challenge it. To understand China's present, we must look back to 1989. Fueled by hopes for greater political freedoms and frustrated by corruption and economic shifts, a wave of student-led protests swept across the country, culminating in massive demonstrations in Beijing's Tiananmen Square. What began as peaceful calls for reform ended tragically on June 4th, when the government deployed military forces to clear the square and surrounding areas. The exact number of casualties remains unknown, but it is widely accepted to have been significant. Following the crackdown, the government launched a nationwide effort to suppress any mention or memory of the events, censoring media, arresting participants, and excising the incident from official history and public discourse. This period cemented the government's resolve to maintain strict control over information and dissent, viewing them as existential threats to the ruling party's authority. In the decades since 1989, China has built perhaps the most sophisticated and pervasive system of information control in the world. What began with censoring newspapers and jamming radio signals has evolved into a multi-layered digital fortress. The Great Firewall, implemented in the late 1990s and early 2000s, remains a cornerstone, strictly regulating internet access and blocking foreign websites. Domestic internet content and social media platforms are heavily monitored and censored. Advanced surveillance technology, including facial recognition and AI-powered content analysis, is used to track citizens and identify potential dissent. Social credit systems further integrate technological surveillance with social and political behavior. This system aims not just to block specific information, but to shape the entire information environment, ensuring the dominance of the state narrative and preventing the independent organization of opposition. Despite this formidable control, dissent has not been entirely extinguished. The digital age presents both challenges and new avenues for those seeking to voice opposition or share uncensored information. We see instances of individuals and small groups using creative methods to circumvent censorship, employing VPNs, blockchain technology, coded language, or leveraging brief windows of opportunity on social media before content is removed. Recent reports, such as the manifesto from Chinese professors mentioned in the video summary, demonstrate that critical voices, though suppressed, still exist even within certain institutions. However, the risks are significant, with swift punishment for those caught challenging the state's authority or information control. Drawing parallels between 1989 and today reveals a consistent struggle, but with vastly different tools. The core motivations for dissent, desires for greater freedom, accountability, and a voice in their future, may echo across the decades. However, the state's capacity for control has expanded exponentially. In 1989, control relied on brute force, censorship, and control of traditional media. Today, it involves sophisticated digital surveillance, algorithmic censorship, and the shaping of the entire online information space. While the internet offers potential for connection and information sharing, it also provides the state with unprecedented tools for monitoring and suppression. The battle for truth is now fought in code and across networks. Based on this historical context and the current reality, what are the realistic possibilities for China's future regarding dissent and information control? One possibility is a further tightening of state control. As surveillance technology advances, the state may become even more effective at identifying and neutralizing dissent, making organized opposition incredibly difficult. The digital environment could become even more isolated and controlled. Alternatively, continued technological evolution might provide new, unforeseen tools for dissent that can temporarily outpace the state's control, leading to sporadic but intense periods of information breakthroughs or online protests. A more optimistic possibility, though perhaps less likely in the short term, could involve internal pressures or unforeseen events, forcing a change in the state's approach to information and public discourse. The future will likely involve a dynamic, ongoing arms race between control and the pursuit of truth, fought increasingly in the digital realm, with the memory of Tiananmen Square serving as a potent, though officially suppressed, reminder of the stakes. The story of China's information war, from the physical suppression at Tiananmen Square to the digital battlefields of today, highlights a fundamental struggle for truth and control. Understanding this dynamic is essential to analyzing China's current trajectory and speculating on its future possibilities. If you found this factual analysis insightful, please give this video a like. And for more deep dives into the complex realities shaping our world, make sure to subscribe to The Truth is AI and hit the notification bell.